What if I told you that the most important global conflicts are happening right now under our noses, but they're being fought in ways we can't even see, with weapons we don't recognize? The entire nature of war is changing, folks. It's moving from physical battlefields into these invisible domains. So let's pull back the curtain and explore the new rules of war. This quote, man, it just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The 21st century battlefield isn't just about bombs and bullets anymore. It's this persistent daily struggle fought on fronts that are totally intangible. And the scariest part? It's happening whether we realize it or not. So let's get a picture in our heads. What does war even look like in the 21st century? We're all used to the images on the left, right? Tanks rolling across fields, soldiers in trenches, massive naval fleets. But today, the real instruments of power are on the right. We are talking about malicious code, networks of satellites, economic warfare fought through currency, and yeah, the weaponization of information itself. And that brings us to the core problem here. You've got analysts describing the United States as being strategically adrift, basically preparing for the last war instead of the one it's already in. So, let's do it. Let's step onto this unseen battlefield where the new great game is already being played. This isn't some far-off theory. It's happening right now. Adversaries are using every single tool at their disposal. This isn't about waiting for some formal declaration of war. No, it's an ongoing asymmetric campaign that's waged in internet chat groups, through financial markets, and even in the chaos of a hurricane response. It's total spectrum conflict. So to really wrap our heads around how to win in this new world, we've got to look back at the old rules. And believe it or not, there's a classic military theory from an admiral named J.C. Wiley that gives us a fantastic framework for what's happening. Okay, so Wiley's theory, it's actually brilliant in its simplicity. He said there are two kinds of operations. Sequential operations are like a chess game, a logical sequence of moves designed to checkmate your opponent. Think of an army marching step by step to capture a capital city. Cumulative operations, though, are totally different. They're more like a swarm of bees. No single sting is fatal, but together, they can overwhelm a target. And this is where everything gets turned on its head. See, Wiley originally thought those cumulative death by 1,000 cuts operations couldn't actually win wars. But new tech completely flips that script. Why? Because now networked, low-cost defensive systems like drones and missiles can economically overwhelm super expensive offensive platforms like battleships. Suddenly, that swarm of bees can be decisive. I mean, just look at Ukraine. With no real navy to speak of, it used a cumulative barrage of missiles and sea drones to force the entire Russian Black Sea Fleet into retreat. It's incredible. So if the defense now has this massive new advantage, what happens when you pour gasoline on that fire with one single game-changing technology? I'm talking about speed. Welcome to the hypersonic revolution. And when I say fast, I'm not talking about your everyday fast. We're talking hypersonic. That's more than 5 times the speed of sound. At those speeds, the old rulebook for air defense, you can just throw it out the window. There's simply not enough time to react. And let's be clear, this isn't some theoretical exercise. This is a full-blown global arms race. Russia is boasting about its avant-garde hypersonic glide vehicle. China is developing its Type 096 nuclear sub, a platform for advanced missiles. And the US is working on assets like the SR-72, a hypersonic spy plane. The race is definitely on. But here's the thing. Speed is only half the story. The real magic, the true breakthrough that makes this all possible is artificial intelligence. Hitting a moving warship that's actively trying to get away from you from hundreds of kilometers out is a physics problem that was once thought to be almost impossible to solve. But with AI, it's like having a pilot that has flown millions of virtual missions in a matter of seconds, learning from every single mistake until it can predict a target's every move. Okay, so we've talked a lot about hypersonic weapons. It's pretty scary stuff. But what if we took that exact same technology and flipped the entire script? What if the biggest revolution here wasn't about blowing things up, but about moving them? All right, I want you to picture this. 100 tons of cargo. That's a whole Abrams tank, or enough medical supplies to set up an entire field hospital. Now imagine getting that payload anywhere on the planet in less than 60 minutes. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the new frontier of logistics. And this is really happening. Companies like SpaceX are already being tapped to explore using rockets like their Starship for this exact purpose, point-to-point cargo delivery.
This would completely revolutionize military and humanitarian logistics. You need a field hospital in a disaster zone on the other side of the planet? It could be there in an hour. It's a total game changer.
So we've got these unbelievable new technologies, right? Hypersonic speed, AI pilots, instant global delivery. So how does this all tie back to this new kind of conflict? Well, it all leads to a new way of thinking: winning without fighting. And the official term for this, the big strategic concept for our time, is irregular warfare. You can think of it as the art of competing in that gray zone that exists between war and peace. It's all about achieving your strategic goals without ever having to fire a shot in a conventional war, using all those tools we saw earlier: information, economics, and influence. So what does winning even look like in this weird new environment? Well, it really boils down to achieving three things. First, power. Pretty simple. The ability to make an adversary do something they really don't want to do. Second is influence, shaping how both your friends and your enemies see the world. And third, legitimacy, convincing the world that your cause and what you're doing is just and right. But here's the catch. This new way of competing, it creates brand new vulnerabilities, new weak points we never had to think about before. I mean, think about a modern airplane. It's basically a flying data center. Everything from the passenger Wi-Fi to the pilot's electronic flight bags is connected, and that creates dozens of new ways for a cyber attack to happen. Securing our digital infrastructure is now just as critical as defending our physical borders. You know, all of this, it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. In this crazy new world of conflict, what does it actually mean to be powerful? This quote here from a military analyst, R.D. Hooker Jr., I think it just perfectly frames the debate. For decades, military thinking has been about being bigger, heavier, and more powerful in a conventional sense. But is that still the right way to think? Right now, there's this fierce debate going on. You've got critics saying the US Army has become too light, that it's sacrificed armor and firepower, and the push is to get heavier again. But that just begs the question, if the next war is going to be fought with code and hypersonic logistics, what does heavy even mean anymore? And that, right there, is the ultimate question we've got to grapple with as we move forward. What really makes a nation strong in the 21st century? Is it still the explosive force of a traditional arsenal, measured in megatons? Or is it the speed, connectivity, and resilience of our digital and information power, measured in megabits? The answer to that question is going to define the next century of global competition.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.